Good evening, councillors, staff and members of the public. I declare the ordinary special council meeting on the 15th of May 2023 open at 5:30 p.m. Will that please stand? I wish to acknowledge the Garrett people as the traditional custodians of the land that we're meeting on and recognise their strength and resilience and pay my respects to their elders past, present and emerging. Thank you. Item 3. The audio of this meeting has been live streamed and also recorded to facilitate community participation for minute-taking purposes, which may be released upon request to third parties. In accordance with Clause 6.16 of the Town of Port Hedland Standing Orders, Local Law 2014, members of the public are not permitted to use any visual or audio electronic device or instrument to record the proceeding of any meeting unless that person has been given permission by the presiding member to do so. Members of the public are also reminded that in accordance with Clause 617-4 of Standing Orders, mobile phones must be switched off and not be used during the meeting. 3.1 Attendance. I note that all councillors are present. Note that Councillor Bennett is on approved leave of absence. 3.2 Attendance by telephone, entertainment communications, there is nil. 3.3 Apologies. CEO, do you have any apologies at all?
No, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, thank you, CEO. 3.4 Approved leave of absence. Councillor Bennett is on approved leave of absence. 3.5 Disclosure of interest. CEO, have any disclosure of interest at all?
I've received none, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, CEO. Councillors, are there any disclosure of any interest on tonight's items? No, thank you, councillors.
Yeah, I'd just like to declare that I'm a member of one of the sporting clubs that will come up for discussion in the budget papers.
Okay. Thank you, councillor. Okay, thank you for that. Item 4, public time. Ladies and gentlemen, this is an opportunity for members of the public to ask questions or make statements to council. As this is a special council meeting, questions and statements must relate to the purpose of the meeting. Clause 6.7-3 of the Town of Port Hedland Standing Orders Local Law requires members of the public wishing to ask questions to complete the question form and place the completed form in the tray provided. If the presiding member determines that questions and statements are out of order due to offensive or objectionable expressions or defamatory, that will not be considered, recorded nor responded to. 4.1 Public question time. I declare public question time open at 5:34 p.m. See, have we received any questions at all?
I've received none, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Does any members of the public wish to ask any questions at all? Yes, Mr. Blanco, please come forward, state your name and address for the record, please. Thank you.
Thanks, Camillo Blanco, 18 Harwell Way, Wedgefield. A couple of questions just on the half-yearly budget review. Number 4 in your QU budget review paper, number 4. The residential housing in Long Tom Loop, has that been built yet?
CEO, is it?
Currently under construction, it hasn't been completed as yet.
Okay, so then I assume that those 2 new houses in Long Tom Loop are the town's houses. Is that correct? There's 2 brand new ones there that have got security fencing around them.
No, I don't believe so. We have a group of 4.
What was that?
We have a group of 4 properties. We don't have 2.
Oh, they could be units, I suppose. Have they been built, or are they under? You said they're under construction.
We have 4 under construction.
Okay. Can I just get an answer as to how we can build houses in Long Tom Loop when there is no budget applied to those houses? The original budget is zero, as you can see in the review. There is $1.8 million that the administration is asking you to approve tonight. Okay, so this is a retrospective approval, and you've just heard the CEO say they're under construction. So I had a look yesterday, and there's some new houses there that I'm assuming are the towns, and I would say I'm pretty well right. So can I get an answer as to how the CEO or the administration can approve a build that's not approved in the budget, okay, and that is well over the delegated authority? I'm happy to take that on notice.
Okay, thank you.
While I'm here, I might as well speak about another one that is on Rutherford Road. So the budget is zero, okay, and there's a $632,000 number there that the administration want council to approve tonight in the half-yearly budget review. So I'm happy to take that one on notice too. Has that house been built? And I've been down that road, and there's no construction. There's only new houses down there. There's no construction currently. So, you know, it's quite odd that we're at the end of the financial year and you're requesting $632,000 for to approve the build of a new house when it could have been put in the next budget. So I'm assuming that that is done as well. There's two examples, and there's a lot more, but one more question, Mayor. Are you aware that in the half-yearly budget review that you're supposed to be approving tonight at the end of the financial year, that there has been $23.5 million removed from the approved budget, okay, in capital works, and then about 11 and 12 added into it in other areas that hasn't been approved, and that there is an $11+ million reduction in the capital works program on top of that. Are you aware of that, Mr. Mayor?
Just and I'll take that on notice, thank you.
Are you aware of that?
I'll take that on notice, thank you.
Hang on.
No,
You're going to an
I'll
approved
take that on notice,
quarterly,
thank you.
half-yearly
No, I'll
budget
take it on notice,
review,
please.
and you're going to take that on
Yes,
notice.
thank you. Yes, thank you. That's the third question. Please sit down. Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you. Do you have any more public questions at all? Okay, I will close public question time at 5:39 p.m. Thank you. 4.2 public statement times. I declare public statement time open at 5:39 p.m. Mr. CEO, received any more public statements at all?
No, I've received none so far, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, CEO. Members of the public, do you have any public statements at all? Can you please come forward, state your name and address for the record, please? Thank you.
Yeah, Daniel Hendon, Ettrick Circuit, is that better?
Yep.
Cool.
Please.
Hi, my name is Daniel Hendon. I'm the Vice President of the Headland Hockey Association. I've been asked to provide an overview of our club and an insight into current issues and roadblocks for potential growth. A new committee was formed 3 years ago, and I'm proud to say the club has expanded year on year since. In 2021, we had 33 members. We saw a 30% increase in 2022 with 43 members, and thus far in 2023, we've seen a 51% increase to 65 members. Headland Hockey is committed to providing an affordable, safe space for our members to participate in the team sport. Our junior program focuses on developing the fundamental skills of hockey while also developing life skills including teamwork, communication, resilience and self-belief. As council members and administration, I'm sure you already understand the benefits of youth involvement in team sports and preventing antisocial behaviour. The committee and our members have worked hard on funding and fundraising over the last few years, applying for grants and with members selling raffle tickets and sausage sizzle at the Port Hedland markets. We have used this money to purchase uniforms, signage, a barbecue, portable shades and equipment for the club, using local business wherever possible. Among the equipment we purchased, goalie gear and hockey sticks that our members can use. This was to remove financial barriers for our members. Essentially, they only need to have running shoes and pay a registration to participate. Unfortunately, however, due to our facilities, this equipment is not expected to last as it should, as it's stored in a small shed that is exposed to high temperatures, open to insects and rodents. We are currently looking to purchase replacement portable goals for our juniors, as our current material ones have perished in the storage shed. We expect the newly purchased goalie gear, bibs and bags will also deteriorate under the same conditions. We are led to believe the proposed clubhouse renovations will then provide us with inside storage, a solution. One of our major issues with the clubhouse at present is the fact that it's not sealed. This creates issues with rodents, frogs, insects, dust and dirt. Toilets are currently home to frogs and insects and are impossible to keep clean. Anything left in the club rooms also requires to be stored in storage tubs. The current playing surface area is actually a third of a standard playing surface. As some of you may be aware, it is the old tennis court that was repurposed. Unfortunately, however, this has created numerous hazards for our members. There are no runoffs, meaning the bitumen starts directly on the edge of the pitch, with a raised lip separating it from the sand turf, so any fall close to the edge could result in serious injury. The hockey pitch markings are heavily painted on, creating the ball to jump up when hitting them. We know of Headland residents that previously played that have not returned due to the surface. Hockey has been a great sport for numerous of us. We are, with some, lucky enough to represent the state and travel Australia for national tournaments. That is why we are so passionate about giving back to the sport and providing our juniors with the same opportunities as we were fortunate enough to receive as kids. We do not want poor facilities to be a limiting factor to their hockey career. We are currently looking at designs for a new playing surface that we could bring to council and believe the best option would be a multi-sport centre, bringing tennis and possibly other sports on the same field to reduce land requirements, maintenance and therefore overall costs. There is a guide produced by the International Hockey Association in partnership with English Hockey, Tennis and Netball Associations that we have with us today as a concept of this design. A more detailed proposal would need to be developed, but we wanted to highlight this concept early with the council and work together to bring this cost-effective solution to reality. We are grateful that last year the playing surface lights were upgraded to LEDs after numerous lights were out of service. However, we believe more investment from the town is required to provide a safe environment for our members to thrive and for our club to grow without significant barriers. Thank you for your time tonight, and I hope Headland Hockey can count on your support moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Do you have any more public statements at all? Yes, can you please come forward, state your name and address for the record, please?
Sorry, which address?
Your name and address. Your name and address, please, for the record.
Levi Trewick and 8 Mosley Street. I'm the Vice President of the Tennis Club. And I'll just bring up similar issues as to what was mentioned before. I'd like to start off by saying how grateful we are for what you're doing for us. The shared facility will play a massive role in helping the tennis and hockey club generate more interest and sporting opportunities in the community, especially for our youth. The Port Hedland Tennis Club reactivated a couple of years ago as a direct result of Remote Tennis Services Australia. Come into the Pilbara region off their own dollar, building participation in both junior and adults, leading to a refreshed committee. The tennis club was dormant until this. By gaining this new facility, we will be able to strongly support Remote Tennis Services Australia to make sure tennis and hockey thrives in the Pilbara for years to come. Our goal is to be able to run consistent weekly social nights, leagues, junior and adult competitions. Upgraded facilities will also lead to potential tournaments, bringing in tourism. In turn, will put money back into the community. Finally, we understand that the town is spending a large amount of funds on the facility and it hasn't gone unnoticed. The tennis club is prepared to contribute $10,000 to the fit out of the shared facility, including white goods, furniture and other items that both clubs can benefit from. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any more public statements at all? Yes, Mr. Blanco, please come forward, state your
Yes.
name and address, please, for the record.
I
Thank
have
you.
a statement, but I also have some notes for you to follow. Okay, I'll try and keep this very simple. But I need to tell you what's happening with our budgets and, you know, the manipulation that I can see. Okay, so attachment 1A, the 2021 budget, residential, the yield is $11 million, okay? This will all come clear in a sec. Attachment 2A. Oh, so would you like me to point it out? Attachment 1A. So here it is here. You're budgeted $11 million. So that's the base number, okay? And then we go to attachment 2, the 21-22 budget. This is just residential component, okay? So we have an increase of $11.375 million. That's a 3% increase in line with what was advertised, okay, just for residential. The 22-23 budget, we have a $13.275 million yield. Okay, from 2021, that is a 20.5% increase. All right, so within 18 months, okay? Or from the previous year, it's a 17% increase. All right, and then the 23-24 budget, what's proposed tonight, you got the yield of $13.5 million. Which from, you know, the 2021 budget is a 22.5% increase, or from last year, it's 2.5%. So effectively, over the past 3 years, you've increased rates in the, just in the residential component by 22.5%, okay? By the way, that 23-24, that's attachment 4, and you'll see the number in there. So let's move on to the total yield across all rate categories, all right? Attachment 1, the 2021 budget adopted on the 30th of June. 2020, I think it was. Attachment 1. So you've got a total of $54.8 million. Now, that attachment 2A, the 22 budget, increased from the 21 budget from 49 to 54, so that's an 11% increase. And then the 22-23 budget, we move up to the total yield is 62.3 million. So that is a 15% increase from the year before and a 26% increase from the original base of 2021. And then tonight's increase, you are advertising 3.5%. The numbers in there state that it's going to be a total yield of 65.2 million. that is a 6% increase from last year. So 6% from last year, we had a 15% the year before, and the year before you only you advertised that it was going to be 2.5%. Remember, these are your numbers, they're not mine, I didn't make them up. You've got the sheets right there. So from the baseline of the budget 2021, the baseline of 49.4 million to now, you've increased the rates in Headland by 32%. Okay? So I keep coming in here and telling you that 2.5 or 3% is wrong. I've shown you the numbers. They're in your documents, all right? Your long-term financial plan says 2.5 or 3%. Well, so far in the last 3 years, it's 32%, okay? So tonight's budget review. You've got 23.5 million that's been removed from the original budget. And if you have read your Q2 budget report and added the numbers up, because I did, you would say a roughly 23.5 million has been removed from the original budget that you approved. And then 12 million's been reapplied to things that you haven't approved, okay? And you've reduced the Capital Works program by $11 million.
5 minutes is up. Thank you.
Okay?
Through the chair, can we request that extension so I can hear the rest of it, please?
Do you hear the rest of it?
Oh, personally, I'm happy to hear
Do
other
I
councillors.
move in a second? Both moving up? Okay, move in a second. Okay. Continue.
You know, it's pretty bad when you know, you guys have got
Camillo,
no
excuse me,
idea
Camillo.
about... This is statement time. It doesn't matter what your opinion is. I'm telling you my opinion, okay? It's pretty bad when I come up here after, you know, keeping an eye on what's going on in the finances, and then I continually get shut down. It's just not on. If you guys actually were looking at the numbers and understood what is going on here, you would not be happy with the situation, okay? Now, I asked the questions tonight about houses being built that are not in the budget. Now, I'm all for houses being built. Just do it properly, all right? You've got a delegated authority for a specific reason. You don't go over that delegation. The council cannot spend money that's not in the budget, and that's what you're doing, all right? And that's a no-no. Now, let's have a look at the mistakes that were made last year. And I came in here in July and talked to you about the way that the housing numbers were manipulated, okay? And I've had no response from people that I specifically asked. Now, I contacted the Deputy Mayor about it. I spoke to him at an event, and he told me, this is not the time or the place to be talking about things like that. You're a council member. Every time is the time and the place. And also, if I ask questions or show you something, then you should investigate it. But you haven't done that. So, have a look in your papers there, and you'll see in attachment 2A, the budget 30th of June 22, the property number down the bottom is 7,661. And then you have a look at attachment 3A. This is total property numbers. Then you'll see a dramatic increase of 8,632 in attachment 3A. And then in tonight's budget, you will see in attachment 4A that the property numbers have actually gone down again to 7,594. Okay? So I don't understand how you can, advertise last year that there's more than 1,000 properties on our register, and then this financial year there's over 1,000 have been removed. So, the mistakes I spoke to you about in July last year, that being the administration inflated the total housing numbers in the budget in order to dilute the correct rate increase applied to headland ratepayers. And you can see that in those numbers tonight. Now, what you can also see in this graph, all right, and this has never happened before in the history of Headland, is that you have a 23-24, that box in attachment 4. You see total housing numbers 7,594, and then next to it you see 1,144. All right, that's there to confuse you. The total number of housing is 7,594. 1,144 is the amount of houses, vacant land, that's within that original number, and it shouldn't be displayed like that. And if you have a look at the previous budgets, you'll see that those unimproved value go underneath the improved value, so you know exactly what's going on, subtotals, and then total amounts. Not like that. You can't calculate the rate increases like that. You don't know what the numbers are. So I know for a fact that no council member tonight has done the calculation to find out whether the rate increase or the rate in the dollar increase is correct. I know that because you don't have the numbers. You don't have the real numbers. I don't have them, so I don't know what it is. So what I want to know from you guys tonight is, where have you identified the requirement to increase rates? Based on the finances tonight, I've told you that 23 million has been stripped out, 11 million added in. There's a 11 million reduction in the capital works program. So where have you identified that you need to increase rates? Because that money that you had in this budget is being forwarded into the next one. So it's not like you're short on it. You've taken no action to fix the clear major mistakes that I've outlined, and we're in the middle of May, and you've been presented with a December half-yearly budget review. Does that ring some alarm bells to you guys? Does it also concern you that the manager of finance and the director of finance have departed the town abruptly? Does it concern you that the agenda item in April was effectively a one-page document asking you to approve a half-yearly budget review with tens of millions of dollars in changes? This is how you get conned. The budget is developed yearly. You should expect it to be implemented at a very high completion rate and then start a new one. So year on year, you see noticeable changes. The idea of a review is to identify any shortfalls or savings in costs and adjust, so you remain compliant with the legislation that relates to the delegated authorities you have approved for the CEO. It's not about rewriting the approved budget. You're not here to protect the interests of the administration. You've been elected by the people of Headland to protect their interests relating to the town's development and, more importantly, the town's financial position, as well as the effective and efficient spending of our money. It's not the administration's money, it's the town of Port Hedland's ratepayers' money. And you're here to manage it effectively. And you've failed dismally. Now, my advice in closing, this is my advice, so don't start doing any cartwheels, is not to approve any changes. My advice is to stand down the CEO immediately and appoint a new acting CEO with a mandate of finalising a forensic audit on the town's finances. My advice is to significantly reduce the delegated authority of all executive to the minimum until an audit and the findings are complete. You cannot change the approved budget and capital works by 23 million without authorisation and reduce the budget's capital works program by 11 million and then advertise a 3.5% rate increase and knowingly apply a 6% increase in the middle of May. That's just this year. Last year, you advertised a 2.5% increase, applied a 15% increase in rates across all categories. Over the past 3 budgets, you've increased the rate costs to your people by 32%. And the town looks like a bomb site. It's time to pull up. Get your house in order before charging us more. Stop increasing costs to the people that can't afford it. Do your job, as hard as that may be.
Thank you, Mr. Blanco. Thank you. Do we have any other public statements at all? No more public statements? Yes, Mr. Higgins, can you please come forward? State your name and address for the record, please. Thank you.
Roger Higgins. I live in 88 Sutherland Street, Port Hedland. I came here tonight because I wanted to hear what was really going on. I find it I'm speaking from the cuff. I have no prepared statement. As someone who's been to a few council meetings over a period of time, from time to time, what disturbs me greatly is the reaction that I'm seeing from the people that are sitting behind those desks over there to what our former Mayor Milo was saying. There were 3 or 4 of you who have constantly had your head down, who were not looking at him and clearly not absorbing or running through your mind. You were obviously critical of what he was saying. Now, I'm one of probably many, many people here who pay rates on more than one property. I've been here now for 11 years. I run a dental practice. I am the only dentist that chooses to live in this town, period. Everyone else is FIFO. And this is the way this place is going. I came here in 2012 because I saw what a parlous state private dental practice was here. Now, if you want a town to grow and develop, you need to attract professional people who come and live here, not people who do FIFO. Because what I do involves having to see people in emergency situations after hours, and that's what I do. And I came here because I've been in practice a long time, and I have a bunch of experience behind me. When I see how some of you people behind those desks tonight has reacted to what Milo's saying, I am appalled. I am appalled because you people have been elected to do a job, and it's pretty clear that some of you don't take it seriously. You take the extra income and the extra benefits that go with the job as being your right. You have a right to look after the interests of the ratepayers who are here. And when I hear Milo coming out and saying the things that he has, and I've seen the numbers, and I've had a look at the numbers, and I agree with everything that he said. And if you people tonight choose just to pass this through, what's about to be presented to you, without any discussion and without taking it away and getting your heads together and really understanding what's going on, then this place is doomed. And I support everything that he said, and I want you people to take it on seriously.
Thank you, Mr. Higgins. Do we have any more public statements at all? No more public statements? Okay, I will close public statement time at 5 minutes past 6. Okay, 3.4, petitions, deputations, presentations and submissions. Mr. CEO, have you received any petitions or deputations petitions at all?
We do, Mr. Chair. We have a deputation from Campbell's Transport. We have David Campbell, the owner, in the gallery, and we have Owen Hightower, his consultant, who is online. Owen, can you hear us? Can you see us?
Yep, I can see you all. Am I coming through okay?
Okay. Thank you. Alan, can you please proceed with your deputation, please?
Thanks, Mayor. Yeah, I'm probably going to quickly speak first and let Dave follow on. Apologies, I'm not there in person tonight. I'm on Yarroo country, a bit further north of yourselves. Yeah, thanks for giving me the opportunity to dial in and for Dave to attend. We're speaking tonight in favour of the officer's recommendation to grant approval in accordance with the conditions the officers have recommended. Want to thank the town's officers again for working with us and being so proactive in kind of navigating what is really a challenging and complex situation for both parties. So I think where we've ended up is that we've got a very strong set of conditions that both facilitate an outcome that's desirable for Campbell Transport to push ahead with longer term planning and redevelopment for the property, that ensure that the town has adequate controls and protections in place to ensure that the time limitations that are being imposed are adhered to, and also some really strong provisions around ensuring that the amenity and the appearance of the property is approved in the immediate term to the local area. So overall, I think we feel the position's pretty amenable to both sides and allows us to kind of start working on the longer term direction for this property, whilst alleviating or assisting and contributing to the alleviation of some of the housing challenges we have by making 40 houses free into the community. Obviously since the last council meeting, the position was made clear by some councillors that the social benefit wasn't quite there, and I think the additional proposal for 10 rooms to be made available for council to assist, again, in ensuring that they have access to some rooms to support the needs of the community and the administration is a further step forward that Campbell Transport's offered to ensure that we're putting the best foot forward for councillors, that we can show that Campbell Transport's committed to making sure that what we're putting on the table, we're going to follow through on, and that we're trying to maximise the benefits for the community in doing so. So, I'll leave it there and hand it over to Dave. He might want to say a few words.
Okay, thank you, Owen. Yes, David, please come forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, councillors, for giving the opportunity tonight to talk in front of you guys. We've been working on this for about 1.5 years now with the town, and we've been trying to work with the town to come up with the best plan forward. We just haven't come up with our own vision for this. We've encouraged the town to also put in what they feel will be the best situation for the town. We see this as a great short-term opportunity to relieve, I guess, some housing pressure for not just us but the town. But we also see this as a great long-term, project for not only ourselves but the town to turn something that's probably been vacant for 10 years and has been a bit of an eyesore over the last 10 years into something that I think the town could be proud of, and also have a bit of an input into how that might look in the future. And I think we've done that with our clauses along the way. We're not here to dictate what's going to happen. We generally want the town to help us along our journey. We also see this will free up 40 houses immediately for families and workers in the town, that is dearly needed. And I just checked my notes, so guys, I kind of jumping around a bit. Yeah, so we feel it's going to free up the houses, and also I think we can do something generally good here. So again, I'd like to thank you guys for the support over the last year and a half to get here, and thank you very much for letting me talk. Thank you.
Thank you, David. Thank you. Okay, item 5, questions from members without notice. Are there any questions from elected members at all? Yes, Councillor Coles.
Thank you. Just got a couple questions here. Line 102, which is a zero budgeted item, Port Hedland Tennis Club and Hockey Club upgrades. Just wondering, has any, up to today, the 15th of the 5th, 23, has any money been spent on that particular item? That's for purchasing of materials and labour. The
I'll ask.
Looking at the manager, I think the answer is no.
Okay. The second one, another zero budgeted item, line 59, McGregor Street Oval Lights component. We're not talking about the grass and the levelling of the field. Has any extra labour or purchasing of materials taken place and money extra been spent that's been zero budgeted for that particular item? So any purchase of materials or anything outside of a zero budget item, line 59. We're not talking about the grass and the levelling of the field.
Yeah, I'll get Ryan to answer that for you.
No money's been spent in regards to the purchase of any equipment or engagement of any contractors for any works to the lights to date.
And no purchase of materials?
No purchase of materials.
The next one is line 103, which is the Ranger's office. I'm pretty sure I saw it went out for tender. Has any money on that one there, has it been spent yet on the Ranger's office?
No money has been spent on that project to date.
Sorry, I've got other ones. I just need to locate them. I'll let someone else ask a question if need be.
Okay. Councillor Gillingham, do you have a question?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
Sure.
We've just recently learnt that the soccer club, through the chair, the soccer club has just had to have their pitch, I believe, redug again. I hope I'm getting this correct. I'm wondering if I could please ask through the chair to the director to find out if this is the case, as there's another, that means it's another big hold up for the soccer season. So I'm wondering if that can be just confirmed, or just a query on that. Thank you.
Okay, we'll take that on notice. Thank you, Councillor Gillingham. Any more questions at all? Councillor Coles, did you find your questions? Yeah.
So, yeah, got another one, just
Okay.
to follow on from Camillo Blanco, who's come forward tonight. Do we have any reasonings why those property numbers had fluctuated as much as what they have done over the years? And do we have any explanation for that one there? I'm happy that one there to be taken on notice as well.
No, the short answer is there was an error in the previous year. We did not increase and then decrease by 1,000 properties, and we held a separate briefing for elected members and advised accordingly. That was some time ago.
Okay, do you have any more questions, Councillor Coles? Yep.
Sorry,
That's
another
okay.
one here. The Wedgefield Route 1 construction, which was originally a $2.2 million out of the strategic reserve, it's now only $1.6 million budgeted items. There have been reasons why for the change of that one there. I'm happy just to have all this taken
Take on notice
on
for you. Yep.
notice.
Thank you.
Just FYI, there was an answer that was provided to us beforehand in Director Furness's email to us.
Happy to resend and recirculate the advice.
Okay. Councillor Coles, do you have any more questions?
Yeah, the Lotteries House originally had 100,000, now a 400,000. Is there a reason for the extra 300,000 from the original budget?
Yep, thank you. Take on notice, thank you. Any more questions, Councillor Coles?
Right, just one for me, carrying on from the Wedgefield route turn-off stages.
Yes, Councillor Christian.
As part of the series of questions that I sent out, thanks to the administration for supplying those answers, One question I did have that wasn't answered yet that I'm just curious about was the confirmation of the funds received from the grants associated with that. I was under the assumption that those grants were received. If so, I just didn't get any confirmation as where they were spent, as supposedly they weren't spent on that project. So can I just get some clarification on the grants that were received for that? Because it was a 2/3, 1/3 grant, I think.
So that I notice for, yeah, thank you, Councillor Christensen. Any more questions at all, Councillor Coles?
Finucane Island, stage 2, $2.3 million. 2.7 out of it, only 39,000 was actually applied to it. Do we know where the other bit has gone back to? That's so far just some of the ones that I've just got.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Ryan, what's it for us?
Through the chair, we put that project out to tender. We had a QS completed on that project prior to tendering it. Upon tender close, we had 4 respondents. All respondents exceeded the budget by percentages of between 100 and 120%. So the suggestion to the elected members was to put that project on hold for now until the marine construction market cooled off.
Any more, Councillor Coles?
Sorry, I'll rest for the moment.
Okay. Any more questions at all, councillors? No? Okay, Councillor Coles, no more? Okay, thank you. Okay, moving on. Item 8, announcement by the presiding member of that discussion. There are none. Item 7, declaration for all members have given due consideration to all matters contained in the business paper before them. I invite all elected members to declare by a show of hands that they have given all due consideration to all matters contained in the agenda. I have a show of hands, please. Except for Councillor Gillingham and Councillor Coles. 6-2. Okay, thank you, councillors. Sorry? No, it's fine. Before we move on to reports from officers, I'll remind that members of the public not to take any action on council's decisions on items on this evening's agenda in which they may have an interest until formally notified in writing by the town has been received. Decisions made at this meetings can be revoked in line with the Local Government Act 1995. Reports from officers. 8.1 Corporate Services. 8.1.1 Adopt of the 2022-23 Interim Budget Review. We have an office recommendation before us that Council adopts the revised 2022-23 half-yearly budget based on results for the period ending 31 December 2022 as attachment 1. Can I have a mover, please? Move, thank you, Councillor Turner. We'll have a seconder, please. Councillor Zilke, thank you. Is anyone against it?
Before we move forward, can I suggest an amendment?
Yes, Councillor Christensen.
So my suggestion would be that us as council will suggest an amendment that reads as adopt as per the previous recommendation with the removal of lines, and we'll get to that in a second, and then authorise the CEO to amend the current Q2 budget accordingly to the line items that we would suggest. I've got some line items that I'm happy to suggest, and then I'd also open it up to other councillors if they have other items they wish to add or remove as well.
Okay, is there a seconder for that? Councillor Gillingham. Is anyone against that? No? Yep, the line items, please, Councillor Christensen.
My suggestion is line item, as per the attachment 1, line item 102, prefixed as the Port Hedland Tennis and Hockey Club, value of $288,000 for this financial year, with a carry forward another $288,000 for the next year. Then line item number 59, McGregor Street Oval Surfacing Levelling, with the original budget of $750,000. Just again, wanted to initiate that we remove the idea or the preference that we would be going to the lighting. I think we should be taking that off the table and readjusting that at a later date. So keep the surface levelling if that's what's required for the fundings, but we make it very clear, definitive, that we're going to be holes in that section of the project. Are the two major ones that I want, and then I'll leave it open to other councillors if they have other concerns in relation to other budget items.
Okay, councillors, any other line items at all? So that,
Mr Mayor, can I just clarify, councillor, you're wanting on line item 59 that all expenditure on the levelling of the surface remains and expenditure for lights is removed?
Yes, because I said the project's currently underway, so there's no point stopping midway.
okay. Okay, is everyone clear? Can I get a vote on that, please? All those in favour?
Could it be read out again, please?
Let's read it again. Councillor questions? Yep.
Just clarifying the writing, it's line 59, not 159. There you go. It's on the screen.
Can you see that, Councillor Christie? Yep.
So we need to get some clarification around line number, sorry, let me just confirm, 59, just to make sure that we're not removing the line item, that we're just removing a portion or a scope of the works in that project.
The levelling, not the light.
Can I suggest in brackets after 59 you put removal of lights only?
You happy with that, councillor?
With that?
Yes, please, Lee. Yep. Oh, I can read that for you, that's fine. Okay, the amendment recommendation that council adopts the revised 2022-23 half-yearly budget as an amendment, on the results of the period ending December 31, 2022, as per attachment 1, but for the capital works on line item number 102 and line item number 59, which is removal of the lights, and authorise the CEO to amend the final two budget accordingly.
Clarification through the chair. Could you please read it out correctly? Thank you, Mayor Carter.
The council adopts the revised 2022-23 half-yearly budget based on results for the period ending 31 December 2022, as per attachment 1. But for the capital works in line item number 102 and line item 59, removal of the lights only, and authorise the CEO to amend the final Q2 budget accordingly. Is that okay, Councillor Billingham?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Through the chair, will these
Yes.
items be debated, or will it just go to a vote?
My understanding, Councillor, this is an amendment, and a call was for those against the vote. No one elected to nominate against the vote, so I believe the Mayor will put the amendment to the vote, and then we will go to the amended substantive motion, which you and Councillor Zilke moved.
Okay, now put it to the vote. Okay, all those in favour of the amendment? Two? Two? Yep. All those against?
Mayor, can I ask you to recast the vote, please?
Yep. Sure. Okay, all those in favour? 2. Okay. All those against? Sorry?
In favour?
Can I just get clarification, please?
So what's been proposed by Councillor Christensen was an amendment. We're voting on that amendment as it is written on the screen in front of you. Subject to the result of that, we will then return to the original mover and seconder of the motion.
Okay, so all those in favour of the amendment? 4. Okay. All those against? 4. Okay. Casting vote. I'll also vote. Yeah, against. Yeah. Yep. Motion is lost, yes. Motion is lost, yes.
We need to return to the substantive motion as
Yep.
printed. Motion for Councillor Turner and Councillor Zilke.
For it. Yes.
They've moved and seconded.
That's right. Okay. Oh. Sorry, Sierra. So we'll return to the office recommendation that council before us that adopts the revised 2022-23 half-yearly budget on the results of the period ending 31 December 2022 as attachment 1. We have a mover with Councillor Turner and Councillor Zilke. On my screen here. The council adopts a revised 2022-23 half-yearly budget based on the results for the period ending 31 December 2022, with a rejected multiple surplus of 5.015 million as June 30, 2023, as per attachment 1. Is anyone against? 4 against. Okay. Or 4.
Before we commence, can I also foreshadow this motion, please?
Yeah. And your foreshadow is?
The amendment. And I can do the amendment if this fails, so I'll go again.
Okay. Thank you, Councillor Christensen. Good. Councillor Turner, speak for.
Thank you, Chair. Look, I just lend my support to the officer's recommendation. We've had significant consultation. This has come to a special council meeting because we have given extra time. I understand that councillors have had the opportunity to view reports, have consulted with the executive, and we have seen the responses, so I'm satisfied with the position of the Q2 budget and are prepared to pass it. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Turner. Yeah, Councillor Zilke. Yeah.
I stand by
by Deputy Mayor Turner's statement.
Okay. Thank you, Councillor Silky. Is anyone against? Yes. Councillor Gillingham.
Yes, thank you. With everything that we have heard this evening and to do with our budget, and also from comments from our audience, from the people who actually pay the rates, their rates in this town, it's disappointing that a lot of what is in our budget has not totally been discussed with all of us here as a whole collective, a council. There's been many councillors away. With this in consideration, it's difficult to make that decision tonight until more information is being given to us, especially about residences in our town, which are not being displayed for us. Yes, it happened last year that there was a mistake, but it has not been corrected to us this year and explained to us this year that why this line item is the way it is in the paperwork that we see in our agenda. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Gillingham. Anybody else for? Anybody else against? Yes.
Thank you, Mr Chairman. My chief concern is the number of holes that we have put questions up for on numerous occasions, and we haven't got clear responses for the questions. There's more questions being asked tonight. Councillor Coles has raised quite a few, and we're now taking them on notice. If we're going to take them on notice and we still don't give the answers, we cannot, in all good conscience, vote in favour of this tonight.
Thank you, Councillor Urquhart. Anybody else for? Anybody else against? Councillor Coles.
Just like to echo on from Councillor Urquhart, Councillor Gillingham. I have, we've brought up concerns. I actually do welcome a forensic investigator to come in and actually have a look at the finances, if that's what it needs to be able to put our ratepayers at ease that everything in our finances are in great shape. So I would welcome the opportunity to put that one there forward. I firmly believe to put our ratepayers' minds at ease, especially what was presented to us tonight, and I welcome it with open arms. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Coles. Is anyone else for? Anybody else against? Yes, Councillor Christensen.
Right, so I'll start off as I always do. Thanks for everyone in the galley who's come down today to share their stories, comments, questions and concerns and queries. I keep saying it, and I say it a lot because I mean it. It's humbling in a way to see people actually come who care about this town week in, week out. We've been a bit short of numbers in the last couple of months, which is disappointing, but it's good to see numbers coming back, and I'm thankful to have everyone here, including the sport kids. I understand they had to go home because they have the young tackers that put into bed, so it means a lot to see you guys here today. So unfortunately, I'm going to be against, as you would have seen. I was trying to get something through with amendments required. I've still got some concerns in relation to the way in which we are spending our money in relation to budgets, long-term financial plans, etc. I think we steer away from these valuable pieces of document all too often, I guess with haste. One of the biggest reasons I've put the sporting ones up in the lights is, unfortunately, we've got two current plans of projects that are currently underway. The Commonwealth Oval projects, whether you go from the servicing, the lighting, or the change room upgrades. We've been having difficulties with those. We've had some more difficulties and call-outs in relation to the McGregor Street. Now, for whatever reason these are, I think it's onus on us to ensure that we don't keep adding more of these sort of projects in place until we close out the existing, to ensure that we are getting the quality and the performance that we expect of these items. And right now, as it's been alluded to us previously here, we are literally 1 month away from approving an annual budget in relation to some of these projects, and I question the ability to be able to start these projects and close them out as per currently demanded. So, I use the examples of the CMO. Like we've got a $750,000 change room upgrade happening there, and we're going to be doing a near on $600,000, just short of it, for club rooms to the hockey and the tennis club. Now, my statement tonight is in no way justification trying to sell or deny them the need. I accept the fact that this is needed, and it's a very critical piece of kit. Unfortunately, I think we need to get, like has been mentioned here before, we get our own sandbox in line before we move on to the other projects that could potentially have the same issue of running over budget or over time. So I think it's onus on us to ensure that that we get some resolution to the budget, because obviously it's important that we get resigned to it. But again, I stand firm saying that I can't, in good faith, approve a whole budget if I can't amend what I feel is in concerns. So that's me. I can close off. Thanks for that.
Okay. Thank you, Councillor Christensen. Anybody else for? Anybody else against? Okay, Councillor Turner, would you sum up, please?
Thank you, Chair. And again, I appreciate all the comments that were made tonight. I would say that in response, I do not think that this council requires a forensic audit of its finances. I would also make reference to the suggestion that the CEO is stood down immediately. That came from the floor, from Mr. Blanco. I certainly would not endorse that. The Town of Port Hedland's audits from year on year show that it is responsible in its management, and it's met all of its legislative requirements. So that's the first point. In regard to moving on, specifically in response to Councillor Christensen's move to remove the line items for the hockey and tennis club. The comment I would make to that is that as a council, we are required to meet certain standards, and that those standards are legislated and are compliant. So in terms of access, in terms of health, I would suggest that we endorse the plan as it is, so that that work can be taken. We're not talking about advancing the club rooms and creating a recreational area. We're talking about minimum standards. So that's the reason I'm supporting that. I would also suggest that as has been discussed extensively at briefing and has been explained to us by the executive, in terms of the lighting, we currently have existing grant of $175,000, I believe, that has come from Department of Sports. If we were to withdraw this line item, then that may require us, and likely require us, to give that money back. I'm not aware that is standard practice, that we would give money back. We've also had a quote for $500,000 from to undertake the lighting work. Other tenderers were over at $1 million or $1.5 million. If we were to take these items back, then we could be exposed to much larger costs moving forward. So that's really my, that is, the key reasons for me wanting to maintain a commitment to these line items. And as stated earlier, we've had extensive consultation, extensive briefings, opportunity for councillors to actually sit with executive, and I know councillors have done that. And I thank Councillor Christensen's point that we do need to move on this budget and pass it. Thank you.
Point of clarification before we can move on, please.
Thank you, Councillor. Thank you, Councillor Turner. Yes.
Just wish to clarify. So, Deputy Mayor, you made a comment in relation to the change rooms that we are in relation to the tennis and the hockey is in relation for the only reason as to that we can meet the Australian standards or the certain standards there are. Can you allude to us what standards these are? Because again, I'm not being privy to any of this information. I haven't seen any designs. I haven't seen any suggested changes happening. And we're approving $600,000 for these changes, and I'm just curious to see what sort of changes would need to be made.
Thank you, Councillor Christensen, for your question. I did do a walkthrough. I understand that several councillors had previously done a walkthrough, I believe after they had inspected the community centre. I myself did a walkthrough, and in terms of changes needed, that building is I believe is non-compliant in terms of disability access. There's a number of step-ups. If you look at the building itself, it's exposed to the elements. The guarding, the grill isn't sealed, it's not covered. I think, tonight they talked about, rodents and frogs and whatever. But certainly in terms of if we looked at the issue of access, then that building's not compliant, and we're required to, at a minimum, all I'm saying is at a minimum, that we make that building compliant, so that it can promote accessibility and inclusion and meet safety standards.
Okay. Thank you, Councillor Turner. Okay, we'll now put it to the vote. It's on the screen there. Okay. The office recommendation that Council adopts the revised 2022-23 half-yearly budget based on the results for the period ending 31 December 2022 with a projected principal surplus of 5.015 million as June 30, 2023 as per attachment 1. Okay. All those in favour, hands please. 4. Was against? 4. Sorry?
The matter will be recorded as 4-4, no casting vote.
Yep, okay. Thank you. Okay.
For the benefit of the members of the public, the report is an absolute majority. It requires it. We cannot use a casting vote on an absolute majority. It will be recorded as 4-4.
Okay.
Can I give you some advice?
Sorry. Mr. Blanco, no, you cannot. Mr. Blanco, sit down.
It's in your
sit
best
down.
interest.
Sit down.
It's in your best interest, okay?
Sit down.
If the absolute majority is lost, look at your standing orders. If the absolute majority is lost, you must cast a casting vote, all right? And the vote will say 5-4, absolute not achieved due to, not achieving the absolute majority. But if you don't, if you don't cast your casting vote, you are then, I can put a serious breach on you.
Fine, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Blanco.
Read your standing orders.
Okay, I'll use my casting vote.
Yeah, you have to.
Okay. I'll also vote for, okay? So 5-4. Moving on, 8.2.1.
May I make a point of clarification? Thank you. I'd like to move a floor motion. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Yes, we do. Mr. Mayor, I think before we proceed with Councillor Gillingham's motion, and I'm not sure, Councillor, whether it's a procedural motion or not, but given that the motion has lost, we still have a foreshadowed motion from Councillor Christensen, and my suggestion would be, move to the foreshadowed motion and ask Councillor Christensen to clarify what that is.
Can I just request a 3-minute break or just silence time so I can just quickly read something?
Recess?
The intent was just to pass the amendment anyway. So the amended motion that I originally put up, I was going to re-put again to see if this was lost, then do we have more appetite to try and get something over the line or nothing? So happy to move that we move the original amendment if the appetite is there.
So it's, just to clarify, it's the same motion you moved last time?
Yes, with the same availability that people can either suggest other.
Let's remove off the lights. So,
It's now on the screen in front of everyone.
Okay.
okay,
And just a point of reference again, so the lights were already removed from the item for this year. So they just weren't amended in the original document. So don't get hung up on the actual removing of the lights. I just want to make it official that we're removing the lights out of the document, like we were told to back in the days, back in the last meeting.
Okay, can I get a second on that? Councillor Urquhart, thank you. So anyone against? Councillor Gillingham? No.
It doesn't matter to the vote.
Just who's against, that's all. Yeah. Okay. Councillor Christensen, for.
Well, I don't want to waste everyone's time, so pretty much what I've alluded to previously, I think these are the burning issues currently, again, in my mind, on relation to the types of works that we are doing. So, as it's been alluded to us, there is over a substantial amount of money, $15 to $20 million, however you want to come to that final determination of capital works being moved out. Now, there's been no clarification or no information provided to us, no council that I'm aware of has challenged the question in relation to the money coming in, of the $13–14 million coming in. I haven't heard anyone publicly in our meetings challenge what the funding sources are. I think it's prudent on us, very keen to understand and clearly demonstrate in your mind that the long-term financial plan moving forward is going to entail a significant, and I'll say it again, a significant amount of money from third-party or external sources. Some projects of over $100 million are requiring 60%. Now, I'm challenging us to see the money that's coming in. It was told to us it was going to be a 50-50. So, for example, I'll use one example of the lights. And it was told to us that this would be a 50-50 opportunity. And right now, the basic mass, even if we go from a $500,000 project, which I still challenge the mindset of, even if we've locked it into a contract, I've got issues with that alone, but if we go back to a 50-50, we have not achieved it. Now, if we can't achieve a 50-50 on a $500,000 project, how are we going to be able to achieve a 60% on a $100 million project? And these are the sort of mindsets I don't want to be getting into. I don't want us to get into a behaviour where we accept things that we haven't targeted. So that's the biggest reason I'm going to push for this. And again, so some of the arguments that come forward tonight, I really challenge myself to go, is that really our mindset? We have identified that this project should be over the $1 million mark. Yes, we were lucky enough to lock this person in for that budget amount. Have we not learnt our lessons from locking companies in at very low amounts to deliver what they ask of us? So again, we said it ourselves here, and the argument was used today, that there's over $1 million of work and we've got it for $500,000. Well, there must be an issue there. Does that mean we're sacrificing quality? Does that mean we're sacrificing something? Like, what are we doing apart from putting a business at risk yet again? We've got a track record here that I do not want to keep repeating, and this, in my opinion, is a key little indicator this might happen again. And I don't want it to be us again to let this happen. So that's the reason why I've put forward those two items. There are still questions around other methods and other amounts on this budget. But again, my biggest concerns right now are this. If anybody other councillors has any other concerns in relation to it, please, this is the time and the place to step up. This is not the time to stay quiet. All too often, we see these debates go commented and debated by a few and refuted by a very little amount. So again, I encourage and challenge every councillor here tonight to put your voice forward, because your voice might be the one that might change the other person's opinion in the direction that we as a council should be moving forward. So that's all I've got to say for now. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Christensen. Councillor Urquhart.
Thank you, Your Worship, and well done, Ash, for sticking with this. I'm backing you all the way with this. The two line items are just two that are causing concern. The line 102 with the tennis club and the hockey club, I get it, Councillor Turner, I get it. We do need to meet standards. I don't think, given that we're now in May and this is a Q2 budget review, that it can't possibly be moved into the 23-24 budget for the upgrades to make them safe and compliant. However, I'll go back to my comments that I made when we were debating the motion substantively. There are far too many holes put up in front of us on the paperwork, whether it be electronic or hard copy. There are too many questions that are being taken on notice that if we are not going to have in front of us tonight, we cannot possibly approve this budget without knowing the details.
Thank you, Councillor Urquhart. Those for. Against. Councillor Turner. And Councillor Christensen. Oh, sorry, Councillor Cunningham.
Sorry, point of order. You've already called for and against. So you've already called for the people who are in against. So you just need to call for somebody to speak against it.
Yes, it's Councillor Turner.
I think I've already made my statements pretty clear. I'll just be reiterating what I've already said. Yeah, I won't expand on that. I'm happy with the comments I made earlier. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Turner. Okay, anyone else for? For. Anyone else against? Councillor Gillingham.
Yeah, thank you. I find it difficult that the word adopts the revised half-yearly budget based on the results, etc. And I do understand about the removal of lights at line 102, 159. I would like to ask the mover of the motion to reconsider to not have the word adopts, but to this really needs to be talked about more. So I'm just quite distressed about what has actually happened here tonight.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Gillingham. Okay, anyone else for? Anyone else against? Okay, sum up.
Right. As always, thanks everyone for the debate. I think it's something that usually goes unheard and unanswered a fair few of the time, so it's always good to throw some interesting ones up here into debate. So again, I'm not going to speak too much more on what we've already spoken about. I think it speaks for itself. In relation to the Councillor Gillingham's request, I'm going to keep my motion, if I can, respectfully where it is. I will suggest other members of the council or councillors, if they wish to not like this, they can always lay it on the table and move a procedural motion to lay it, and then we can readdress it at a later date. That's their prerogative. If they wish to do that, that's another option they can take. So respectfully, we'll keep it where it is, suggesting that we move ahead. Again, if somebody else has another amendment they wish to take other line items out they're not sure about. Again, I think we've had adequate time to debate and communicate these issues and concerns. Again, tonight's another opportunity we can do that. So don't be afraid to make another amendment or follow the standing orders to get what you want as a council. So that's what I'm going to say. I stand by the way it's written at the moment, and we'll go from there. Thanks very much.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Christensen. Okay, I'll now put it to the vote. Clarify the foreshadow the motion that Council adopts the revised 2022-23 half-yearly budget based on the results for the period ending 31 December 2022 as per attachment 1. But for the capital works in the line item 102 and line item 59, removal of lights only, and authorises the CEO to amend the final Q2 budget accordingly. Okay, all those in favour again. That's 2. All those against? Sorry. Correct. So that line again, so all those in favour? All those against?
For Mr Mayor, can you please do a recap?
Yeah, sure. Okay. All those in favour? Was against? 3. That's 5-3. Yep.
Point of clarification, can we, for future, make sure we streamline this a bit more better? Because again, we just had 3 re-votes and members' decisions changed every time, so no extra debates happened. I'm just at a very confused loss here where how we keep recalling votes to be had. Like surely at some time, we've got to call the votes. When the votes are counted, we leave it at that and we move forward. So can we just get some confirmation from the CEO that what just took place then?
As long as we can be very clear, councillor, with people and raising their hands. It was very unclear from my perspective counting those votes in terms of hands raised.
But to my point, it's not very hard to understand all those for, all those against. So again, can I just get some clarification that we have just done everything as per standing orders? Just want to clarify and confirm.
Certainly have a right to clarify the vote, councillor, just to make sure that we are recording it correctly. Absolutely.
So to clarify then, are we recording the vote at
5-3.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, let's move on. Okay, 8.2.
Through the chair, I did
Sorry.
ask if I could move a floor motion. Thank you.
Sorry, Councillor Gillingham. Yes.
That council considers to adopt to have hold a forensic investigation into the council's finances for the town of Port Hedland. Thank you.
Councillor, I'm not sure that's the place to record that particular motion. That's a totally separate motion. I would suggest that that needs to come in writing and be put through the appropriate process.
I believe floor motions are accepted through the chair.
No, we'll put that in writing to Councillor Gillingham. Okay, we're going to move on.
Can I just request a quick
I believe the
recess so we
standing
can
orders is
review the
this is
standing orders?
a floor
confirmed,
motion is
please?
allowed. I've put floor motions in before.
So I move
And
that,
at a special meeting.
so I move that we retain.
Okay, we'll
Retire
take
for
we'll take a
break.
5-minute recess. Okay. Time is 8. Okay, I'll declare the meeting back open at 7:10.
Mr Mayor, if I can, and by way of clarification for councillors, given that this is a special council meeting, it has been advertised for that specific purpose. In consultation with Councillor Gillingham, I note that Councillor Gillingham will now give notice of an intention to bring forward an item. We will assist her with that motion. It will appear as item 13 for the 31st of May ordinary council meeting, motions of which previous notice has been given, and the administration will assist her to clarify the correct wording and intent of her motion.
Okay, thank you, CEO.
Thank you.
Okay. 8.1.2, the 2023-24 rating strategy. We have office recognition before us at Council. 1. Pursuant to Section 6.363A of the Local Government Act 1995, endorse the statement objective reasons for the 2023-24 rating year as presented in Attachment 1 for public consultation. And 2. Pursuant to Section 6.361 of the Local Government Act 1995, give public notice of its intention to impose differential rates, general rates and minimum payments in accordance with attachment statement of rating objections and reasons for which available to the public inspections during the notice period. Here within the proposed differential rate categories and rate in the dollar minimum payments are detailed as shown in the officer's report. Can I have a mover, please? Thank you, Councillor Zilke.
As long as you use the word wherein, that'd be great.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Councillor. Okay. Can I get a seconder, please? Thank you, Councillor Turner. Is anyone against the motion? Okay. So it's Gillingham, Councillor Coles. Okay. Councillor Zilke, speak for the motion.
I'm supporting this movement going forward. We've worked quite hard on changing around so that residentials and commercial, or commercial, are least affected, that the majority will be transferred over to mining and the other units. It's never good supporting a rate rise, and I take in mind what you say, Mr. Blanco. I do believe, though, that the facts that the GRV changes and assessments have not necessarily been factored into your calculations. That'll have an impact on the overall rate rise. We've pushed hard to minimise the effects on residential and commercial, like I said before, and we've worked it quite a bit. So it's not as high as some of the other councils that are advertising theirs, but I believe this is as fair as we can get it at this point in time.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Zilke. Councillor Turner.
Through the chair, thank you. As to reiterate the comments by Councillor Zilke, we have worked extensively on that. We have brought this forward to a special council meeting, having deferred it previously. We have made changes to rates in the dollar, and our commitment has been to lower the impact on residential and commercial. There is a commitment to continue to generate a rateable income that supports local residents and I guess move the burden to the mining and commercial areas. So I think the council's done well. This is a motion to advertise the rates, and I think it speaks for itself. I'm happy for this to move forward. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Councillor Turner.
Mr Mayor, just quickly, can I get a point of clarification through the CEO if I can?
Yes, sir.
So is it true, can I confirm that we lock in the official rate reduction rise where it is at the budget time, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, those against? Okay, Councillor Gillingham.
Yes, thank you. I do have concerns with our finances after a lot of information and discussion has been within our council chambers tonight. I think everybody has understood lots of issues that possibly could be looming. I don't like to speak that way, but I would like more clarification. I don't think we've really sat down as a whole combined council to be able to discuss this thoroughly. So I would like to think that we would be far better off discussing this more, and that this is just not actually adopted tonight.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Gillingham. Anyone else for? Councillor Christensen.
Right, so I'll move that we go for this motion on the proviso that A, we understand that it's purely to advertise the current suggested amount of rates. Bearing in mind what Mr Blanco has said today, I think we've got a lot more understanding to deliver with changes to the current Q2, but with also the adoption of the new budget for next year. I think it's important that we understand that going forward. So in the mindset of not wanting to stall being able to adjust and move at a later date, I think we should move forward. However, I will respectfully disagree with some of the things that some councillors have said, where I think we should get away from suggesting and comparing ourselves to other councils. I don't agree that we should be going, well, other councils are lower or higher, purely because other councils are other councils. The pure idea of rates is it's home to us. It's what we are for. It's the service provided. It's the services we are providing. It's the capital works that we are suggesting. So I think it's important to understand that we don't, while we, I guess, in some way, foreshadow what other councils are doing, I think it's more important that we understand and we debate the fact that we are confident of the rate rises for X, Y, Z reasons, and that's one thing that seems to be lacking in my opinion in some of these conversations we're having. I think we need to be true to ourselves and understand what impact our operation budget has on our rates, what impact our capital budget has on our rates, and what impact the rates in itself have on our rates. So I think it's onus on ourselves. We have had 2 in-depth workshops, maybe 3. I might have been away for one of them, sorry. But I know for a fact I've been to 2. We've had some good conversations. We've had the directors open their doors up for us to come and communicate with them if we have any concerns, questions. And I encourage us all to be able to take that. And I understand we all got busy lives, but I think we owe it to ourselves and owe it to our ratepayers to ensure that we are getting the right questions to the right people at the right time. Fairly often we tend to come to these meetings and try and, I don't want to say stall, but I guess we ask the right questions, in my opinion, potentially at the wrong time. So again, while I appreciate both sides of the argument, I do suggest that we approve this to advertise and then get together and really see what we can do to rattle the cages a bit in the mindset of challenging our different ideas and different thought processes in this, and actually get together, sit down, and let's spend as much time as it needs to be instead of trying to set a time. So that's my statement. Thanks for that.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Christensen. Anyone else against? Councillor Coles.
As we all know, Headland is a very affluent place than what we've got sitting on council right now. We have all worked hard on this. There's been many changes, I agree. I disagree that we continuously, mindset ourselves against other councils. I think that's inappropriate. This is about this town. This is not about Karratha. This is not about Tom Price. It's not about down south. This is purely about our town. So we need to get out of the mindset of comparing ourselves to other councils all the time. If this was to pass, this is only just for advertising to the public for comment, I really would like the public to really dig deep and actually comment on this, the impact that it eventually have on finances, but we need also to understand all the finances completely as well. We are affluent, we do have money, we're not delivering as much next year, so we shouldn't be putting our hand out and asking, please sir, can I please have some more? That's just what I've just got to say for right now.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Coles. Anyone else for? Anyone else against? No, I'd like to sum up. Councillor Zuki.
Thank you, councillors. I stand corrected. I'll withdraw my reference to other councils. Guess it's nerves. We have, like I said, we're going to go and put this on to advertising, and like to echo that, and I hope to hear from the community as much as we can. But I thought that the working we've done so far is as good as what we've managed to get currently. So looking forward to hearing from everyone. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Zuki. Okay, we'll now put in the vote. All those in favour? Yep. All those against? Carried 6-2. Thank you, councillors. Okay, 8.2.1, temporary approved workforce accommodation, formerly Port Hedland Detention Centre on Lot 2, number 15, Dempster Street, Port Hedland. We have officer's recommendation before us that council pursuant to clause 74 and clause 77 of Schedule 2 of the deemed provision of the Planning and Development Regulations 2015 approves an amendment to the planning application 2009-504 on Lot 2, number 15, Dempster Street, Port Hedland for a temporary workforce accommodation subject to the conditions and advice notes shown in the officer's report. Can I have a mover, please?
So moved.
Moved. Thank you, Councillor Christensen. Over. Seconder. Councillor Urquhart. Thank you. Is anyone against the motion? Councillor Gillingham. Okay. Councillor Christensen.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. So let's start with where we started with last month. I think it's fair to say that this is a perfect opportunity, as I said before, to try and bridge the gap between FLIFOs and residential people living together as one in a united front. I tried to articulate it last time, and I'm never very good with my words, so I must have done a good job enough last time. So, but I think the important thing is that we do seem to find a divide between ourselves and our FLIFO people. Yes, while I understand and I appreciate the fact that it's hard to build a united and fronted community once we're constantly building TWAs of the likes, I think it's important to understand scale has a very big important thing to understand with this. I think we are in the perfect opportunity and we have the perfect business, in my opinion, at the forefront right now to work with us, to start to build and understand what we as a town really want from a TWA or a workers' accommodation, to actually see them interject with inside the community. There were several concerns that were raised in the last statements that we heard. I still, to this day, disagree with a lot of them. Some of the comments were made of the likes of, there is no found way that we have TWAs working and injecting themselves into the community, and kind of linked it to the dying art of the volunteering and the sports clubs. Now, unfortunately, I kind of find it hard to believe that the people that are coming from the 40 houses into this location are going to change or adapt the way that they've currently been living for however long they've been here for. So I think in a way the argument is in effect dead, because again, they were currently here. They're just now being transported into one location that makes it safer, secure, and more user-friendly for the business and the business owners, also for the staff and the staff members. It's hard to always get along with everybody. So I guess myself, I don't always get along with all my workmates, but it's good that I have 1,000 people at BHP to be able to respond to and work with. And I think this is what this sort of opportunity is going to bring. I think we should honestly sit here and start challenging ourselves if, in my opinion, we sit there and we give ultimatums to businesses in a way where we say, hey, we want this, hey, we want this, hey, what you're offering isn't enough. I believe if it's a put by the government and it's a mandate that we have to do it, by all means, let's push hard for that. But I think what we've got to be careful of is scaring away businesses that want to come and work with us to develop and build on currently dilapidated equipment and facilities and places. I think we owe it to ourselves and to the community that we actually get this opportunity and we take it with both hands. Again, I'm very interested to see everyone's comments tonight, and I really do encourage you to have a debate, because I'm very interested to see if everyone's opinion has changed in this matter, considering what has changed in this motion. So I'll reserve my right to rebuttals and discussions at a later date, but I'll leave it for all the rest of the councillors here present to have a say. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Christian. Councillor Urquhart.
Thank you, Mr Mayor, and thank you to RFF. I'm not sure if Owen's still online, but thank you for Owen for dialing in and for doing the extra work, going the extra yards, and Dave, thanks for coming along and having a word with us again tonight, and for staying in touch throughout the whole process. I missed the vote last time, and that's why we're back here, because it was 4-4 last time, and it was lost on a casting vote. I'm here this time. I'm going to cast my vote, and I have no apologies for that. I'm in favour of this. To me, the community of Headland, like it or not, is a mining community, and the TWA is going to be, again, like it or not, a part of our community forever until this town dies off, and that's not going to happen anytime soon. So we need to be able to, and with the generosity of this particular application, free up some housing for the GP, the general public. And if we can get 40 houses into the hands of people that are resident in this town and not trying to find or are scared off because they can't accommodate their workers, their staff, then this to me makes perfect sense. We have the facility there. It does not need to be rebuilt. We're not reinventing the wheel. It's a purpose-built facility. It was purpose-built in the early days by Mount Newman Mining as a worker accommodation. It hasn't changed. There's been different iterations throughout time, but it's a workforce accommodation site. Thank you, Campbells, for coming along and giving us this proposal. Councillors, I urge you to look at history and the legacy we're going to leave.
Thank you, Councillor Urquhart. All those against? So you against, yes. Councillor Gilligan.
Yes, thank you. And I do concur with Councillor Christian and the comments also from fellow Councillor Eckhart, and I totally agree with exactly what you are coming from. And I just wanted to point out tonight that though I voted to say I was against this, it was because of personally that we as a council have not really been a collective council where we've been able to discuss this in more further. And I'd like to thank Campbell's, Dave Campbell and his organisation for coming forward and to give point 26 regarding the rooms. I would have liked to have thought that this would have been passed in the previous meeting when this came to council. I really thought it would have just been passed, because I know that the sort of organisation that we have as Campbell's, as a true organisation who want to do things for our town, I know that these 10 rooms or something similar would have just come. I know that. But to have come out the way it has now, it just didn't make me feel so good. That I would have liked to have been part of that conversation when this was discussed, and unfortunately I and other councillors were not part of that conversation. And I'd like to think in future that when businesses want to do something similar in our town, is exactly what Councillor Christensen has said, that we need to make sure that we sit down and we talk and we talk and we talk and we get it right. Because yes, all these years since the early 60s, it has been a single person's quarters. And I've said it before when I've spoken about single person's quarters. My father was a chef there back in the 70s, and it was an amazing, amazing organisation for single people. And without that there, our BHP and that would not be where they are today. So I'd like to to say that I'm not against this. I just want to make point that we do need to have that conversation. And I'd like to thank Campbell's for to coming to the party and being able to move this forward, because it's needed in our town, and we don't often get companies who really do favour our town and they want to do the right thing, and I thank you for that.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Gillingham. Anyone else for? Yes, Councillor Coles.
Yeah, I'm for this motion. As I was previously as well, the facility itself has been left alone for quite some time. We know that it's a usable facility and a usable space. It also frees up plenty of housing for people to be able to come into and live here, because we do see that quite regularly on social media. Our housing is an issue for people to be able to get. So I welcome Campbell's for actually bringing this forward. Not only is that area then going to be used, and it's not going to be left for children to run in and out of unused buildings, it also too might uplift other buildings within that area. I don't understand what's changed from last time on why this was not put through last time. In the Councillors Collective 1, if we all got given different information, then I would like us to actually all get the same information going forward in regards to changes like this.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Coles. Anyone else against? Anyone else for? Yes, Councillor Turner.
Yes, so I was the councillor that voted against the motion at the last and spoke to it. And firstly, I'd like to thank Dave for coming tonight. And I would also like to thank Owen. Owen and I had quite a robust conversation following that last council meeting. And the point that I made was around social contribution or contributions, and that was my sticking point. What Campbell's have come back with aligns with our priorities, aligns that will help the priorities of the council and the work that we need to do. And I think what's now in front of us provides a good and important template for how we can work with business, how we can work with commercial interests, so that we can progress our shared priorities. So we want to see the town grow. We want to see business do well. The council and the administration, we have our plans, and we're asking business to partner with us on those plans. That was the point I was trying to make. Campbell's, to their credit, have come back with a proposal which I fully support, and I thank them for that.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Turner. Anyone else against? Anyone else for?
I just wanted to thank Dave for willing to work with us. I really appreciate that. It makes a pleasant change to some of the things that we deal with. So I look forward to seeing more of this kind. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Zilke. Anyone else against? Anyone else for? Yes, Councillor Killer.
Yeah, I just want to say thanks to Dave for coming in and presenting this tonight as well. I was one of the ones who voted against it last time. I had a good think about it. Bringing back unused building to be used again, I think is a really good thing. Bring the houses back in the community. The community needs it. And I've had a lot to do with the camps over the years. I had a look at the company I work for, and a lot of our drivers that live in the camps actually do go in and use the facilities in town. They do put into the community. And it wasn't until I stepped back and looked at it and realised that that does happen. So that's one of the big reasons I changed my mind.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Killer. Thank you. Okay, Councillor Christian, would you like to sum up, please?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, I'm not going to reiterate on what everyone else has said. it's pretty self-explanatory now that we've got some sort of consensus that this is a great idea moving forward. I'm looking forward to seeing where this partnership does take us. And honestly, I want to see and challenge ourselves here today as councillors and yourself as a business owner and see what we can do to break the mould. I think it's the perfect opportunity that we can break the mould down and really establish ourselves as the town that actually found a way for FLIFO and residential people to actually work together and for the council to make it effective. So super excited. I will just rebut one thing and hope that it doesn't change everyone's mindset. But I think we set ourselves up for a dangerous precedent if we feel that accommodation rooms is going to be the answer moving forward. While I appreciate the incentive and the offer of it coming through, I want to really instill and reiterate that this is not the answer. Why I can say that is, and I can say it knowing fully and well it's not, is because we've had deals like this previously, and we either haven't taken advantage of it, or it wasn't available to be able to be used. And I draw reference to the rooms that we have in the two bigger organisations who are nameless, but we have over 150 rooms available to us. And how many of them are currently being used, and how many of them are currently being used on a regular basis. So again, while I appreciate and thank the offer provided to the business in this instance, I heard a few councillors mention that this might be a way forward. I disagree. I think what we need to do is use these groups and find ways to help work with them, but not hold ourselves to go, well, if you build it, we want so-and-so. I think it needs to be an honest approach from ourselves, giving the faith in the system that they're going to look after us if we do the right thing by them. And that's what we should be doing. It's business 101. We do unto others as we want done unto us. And I think we owe it to ourselves, we owe it to the people who are coming into town to do the right thing in this town, to give them the opportunity to present what they want to do and how they're going to show. Because it's proven time and time again to work. So I strongly encourage that we all get behind this, and then don't just finish at this. Go back, do the check-ins, ask the questions. If you have challenges, Dave's proven time and time again that him and Owen are more than happy and more than willing to work and talk with us. So, and don't just leave it here. Anytime we get a chance with new businesses, old businesses, existing businesses, let's do that. Let's get back out there and let's really take a part. Not saying we're not, just my little 2 cents on the box. So thanks very much.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Christensen. Okay, we'll now put it to the vote. All those in favour? Motion is carried. Absolute majority. Thank you, councillors. Item number 9, new business of urgent nature. There are no items. Item 10, closure. 10.1, date of the next council meeting. The date of the next ordinary council meeting will be held on Wednesday, the 31st of May 2023, commencing at 5:30 p.m. 10.2, closure. Being there no further business, I declare the meeting closed at 7:38 p.m. I'd like to thank councillors, members of the public, CEO and staff for their attendance tonight. Thank you.